Hey all, it's Jay from Sophos Support here. We'll be going over the remediation process for active Emotet and TrickBot infections on your Windows endpoints and servers. There are 5 steps before the process of remediation can start, which are prerequisites. I'll summarize the steps first, and then we'll go into them in full detail afterwards. First off, all machines must have Sophos Central Endpoint with InterceptX and EDR installed. This includes workstations and servers of all operating systems: Windows, Mac, Linux, servers, and endpoints. Second, you need to decommission or upgrade any machine on an older OS than Server 2008 R2 or Windows 7. Main points of concern are any Windows servers on 2008 or 2003 and any Windows XP and Vista machines. Third, you will have to ensure that your policies match the Sophos recommended settings. This ensures you're utilizing our protection to its fullest. Fourth, apply the latest Windows security patches on all machines. The most important patch to protect against TrickBot and Emotet is the Eternal Blue patch. It mitigates the common attack vector leveraged by these malware types. Finally, you will need to have your policy for endpoints and servers configured to run a scheduled scan. This ensures that the information in Sophos Central is accurate for the current environment. Once we've done these steps preparing the environment, we can start investigating the infection in Sophos Central. To do this, we will check which machines are still generating alerts and what files are being spread through the environment. Armed with this information, you can take appropriate steps to address them. Starting with step 1 is making sure that all machines have Sophos Endpoint with InterceptX with EDR installed. An EDR license is required to complete the remediation. If you are not licensed for the feature, you can start a trial from the free tools section in the central dashboard. Installing Sophos on all machines is the most crucial step. It helps immunize machines and prevents the lateral movement of the infection. To make this process simpler, you have 2 options. Option 1, use a third-party tool, such as Advanced IP Scanner, which generates a list of all devices that are active on the network. You can cross-reference that list of machines with the devices listed in Sophos Central. If a machine isn't in Sophos Central, then the endpoint software is not installed on the machine. Please know that the Sophos support team won't be able to offer any support for this tool since it is a third-party product. Option 2, use the Sophos Source of Infection tool. This tool is not an antivirus product, nor will it detect and remove malware. It creates a log of all files that are created, the date they were created, and the local process or network locations that they are generated from on the target machine. To use this tool, run it from a command prompt and wait for a detection to occur, and then cross-reference the detection file name and timestamp with the log from the Source of Infection tool. We've linked a knowledge base article that has the exact usage of the tool in the video description. Now that we have Sophos installed on all our machines, we can assess the operating system versions that are in the environment. Any machines that are older than Windows Server 2008 R2 or Windows 7 must be removed from the network or upgraded to a valid OS version. If upgrading is not an option, the target machines must stay off the network until they can be upgraded or be decommissioned. Next up is reviewing and configuring your policies to maximize your protection. Sophos has knowledge base articles that detail the recommended policy settings for both the endpoint and server policy. Updating your endpoint protection policy to these settings is as simple as clicking on the button to use recommended settings and saving the policy. For servers, however, you'll want to follow the article that we have attached in the description, which goes over exactly which policy features you need to have turned on. It is critical that you enable the feature to allow computers to send data on suspicious files, network events, and admin tool activity to Sophos Central. This feature can be found in the endpoint as well as server threat protection policy and is part of the EDR license. Now that the policies are set up properly, you'll need to ensure all machines have the latest Windows security patches installed. Any machines that are unable to install the latest Microsoft security patches should be taken off the network and fixed to be able to install patches for the same reason that older OS machines need to be removed. The most crucial patch is the Eternal Blue patch. This mitigates an exploit that leverages a vulnerability in Microsoft SMB. While this is not the only method TrickBot uses to spread, patching machines and removing this option makes it harder for TrickBot and protects against other malware that uses this exploit. This patch is in the Microsoft Update MS17-010. We've also put a link in the description to the official Microsoft article. In addition to this, Sophos provides a simple PowerShell script that can be run on individual machines to confirm if they are patched or not. You'll also find that link to the article in the description. Next, you need to set the threat protection policy for endpoint and servers to have a full scan scheduled to run regularly so that Sophos can index all files on every machine. Simply go to your endpoint or server threat protection policy. Click on the Settings tab and go to the Scheduled Scanning section. Set the scan for a suitable day and time of the week. If you want the scan done as soon as possible, give a 1-hour gap from the current time so that all your machines receive the policy. One thing to note, scans can only be run while the system is awake and turned on. If you set a scan for the middle of the night, you might have some machines that don't perform the scan. Please ensure you uncheck the option Enable Deep Scanning if it is selected, because this option slows the indexing process and can even prevent the scan from running on some machines. Next, we'll clean up threats through Sophos Central. Make sure that your machines have all finished running their scheduled scan from the previous step before starting this step. To keep track of this, Sophos Central will log an informational alert on the machine when it starts a scheduled scan and when it finishes. Once the scans have finished, visit the Threat Analysis Center from the main dashboard. Look at the Threat Searches section and search for the common malware drop locations, such as C, Windows, System32, SysWow64, Program Data, and the User Roaming folder. For each search, select the Network Connections tab. This limits the display to executables that perform network traffic actions, which is how TrickBot attempts to spread. With the search results, look for executable files that stand out and seem suspicious, or ones that you are unsure of. For any suspect file, click on Generate a New Threat Case and request latest intelligence to get further information on the file. If Sophos already has intel on the file, you'll see a reputation scale ranging from known bad reputation to known good reputation. Now you can make the decision to block a file by selecting Clean and Block. If you do this, the file, along with any associated files and registry keys, will be cleaned on the device. It also adds the file to a block list to prevent it from running again on devices protected by Sophos Endpoint. You can manage this blocked items list through Global Settings, Blocked Items. If you're uncertain whether to block a file, you can send a sample to our Sophos Labs team using the link in the description. When submitting a sample, provide as much context as you can, such as, I believe this is a false negative relating to a TrickBot/Emotet infection, so our labs team can provide a detailed assessment. Now we can monitor the dashboard for any new and recent detections. We'll want to keep an eye out for signs of Emotet or TrickBot detections, which are classified as the following. There are more detections that are not exclusive to Emotet and TrickBot that you want to investigate if you see that are listed below. From here, keep investigating with threat searches to clean up infected files. You will also have to reboot all machines in your environment to clear any infections that are stored in memory. These two steps will need to be repeated until no detections of Emotet or TrickBot appear in the environment. That is the remediation process for TrickBot and Emotet. Armed with this knowledge, you should be able to handle the situation yourself. If you have any issues with our product, such as a broken installation, not being able to start an EDR trial, or it's in relation to any of the articles we've attached, just reach out to Sophos Support for assistance. Please know that Sophos Support won't be able to clean the environment for you, but we can still help you out with those product-related issues we mentioned. If, however, you'd like more dedicated, hands-on assistance with the remediation process, we can connect you with our MTR Rapid Response Team. This is a team of highly trained and experienced remediation experts. We've linked their contact information in the description. However, you can also reach out to them by contacting Sophos Support or getting in touch with your account manager. Hopefully this video answered your questions and has given you the tools that you need to effectively remediate this malware infection. All the documentation referenced in this video will be available in the description. If you found this video helpful or you have feedback for us, rate this video with a thumbs up or thumbs down and leave a comment for us. This is Jay, signing off.